but Liang gave it a go. Managed to get a game and put her under pressure in the third and fourth as well. But in the end, the class of Tai Tzu Ying winning through, and even she can play badly and still win games, and that's the sign of a real champion, which she really is.
And that's exactly what she is. And those key points, as we said, the 7-7s and the 8-7s and the 9-6s. Well, Liang had a good few of those in the second and third, but couldn't convert them. And it was just this kind of movement.
Yes, and this is where she was caught off guard. You see that? It's a lovely shot from Tai Tzu Ying. She plays it so well. It looks like it's a lift, and then here again we see, oh, this is actually the lift. But then again, we just see now how she pulls around Liang around the court, and this is again at the net. What am I going to do? Oh, it's another drop shot.
And a good one.
And I'm dead. So Liang can maybe say positionally she was naive, but really some great deceptive shot making as well as some great attacking play from Tai Tzu Ying.
And again, it's as I said, the best thing you can do is win 3-love. The second thing, and if you look at those smash winners, 13-3. The unforced errors over 4 games, not so bad, nothing really to talk about there, but short serves as well.
But the smash winner's really the telling thing, and for me, a lot of that match, it looked like Liang's racket strings were too soft because she wasn't getting any penetration on her attack.
At all. Well, with that, thank you, Donald, for joining us once again. And to take over the last 3 matches of the tie. We're just going to start with the men's doubles here. Tan Bun-hyung and Ao Yao-han versus Ma Ki-chun and Tan Bin-chen. Well, this should be a very quick match based on the way both of them play. But joining me in the commentary box with, I'm sure, a much more smooth voice than mine today would be Sharon Wee, the Astro Arena commentator and host, ex-national squash player. Sharon, the last 2 match days essentially killed my voice. Absolutely.
Definitely.
You were there with me, so you know you can testify to that. Now this is going to be interesting.
Obviously, I mean, back to your voice, definitely you were excited more than me, which is good. Well, I think we'll wait. We'll talk more.
Yes, definitely. Right now, we're just going to get to hear the managers. They, I can promise you, also have very smooth voices. And they're with JD on court.
All right, down here with the managers. Remember, they're all fighting for higher positions in the standings for the Resorts World Genting Champions Challenge. Get your tickets at ibookcourt.com. Let's have a chat with Samuel Nissan from Kepong, BC right now. Let's talk about this doubles match right now. Both sides evenly matched, or do you see someone with a slight advantage?
I think I think there's an advantage to our pair here. We have Tan Bun-hyung and Ao Yao-han. They've been winning all their matches in 3-0. Frankly, I really expect them to win this 3-0 as well. Although that the opponents are very good, but I expect Tan Bun-hyung to do it as well.
Thank you very much. Very, very confident from Samuel Nissan. Jason, what do you think for Muar City, BC? What will be the deciding factor for this match? Where will it be won or lost?
I think cut down on the unforced errors, and I think this is really a cracker. Hopefully it turned out to be a Muar City game.
Okay, I like that. Both teams very, very confident. This is a huge match. Let's enjoy this. Back to you in the iBook Court commentary box.
It is, as they said, going to be a cracker, but Tan Bun-hyung on court with Ao Yao-han. How do you see this one going, Sharon?
Oh, yeah, I mean, we are looking at Tan Bun-hyung, our living legend, having had partnered Koo Keng Kiat, and they have won gold medal in Asian Games, Commonwealth Games, and nearly won the world title.
Yep.
So he has a lot of experience and a lot of colorful shots on court. And, well, their opponent as well, I think they are going to put a very good fight. Being the Muar City in the first position, somehow the motivation is really high.
Yep, Tan Bin-chen there, 30 years old now, but along with Ma Ki-chun has been solid, more than solid. 7 years younger is Ma Ki-chun, but together they have worked on their defensive partnerships, yes, but they both love to smash, as we see from all these Muar City doubles pairings. And you're right, Sharon, there is a winning air around the club. They've essentially already qualified for the Champions Challenge, being in top spot. There's a massive swing of results needed from them and other clubs if they're going to lose top spot in the league. There's some 30 games ahead.
Yeah.
But
Ao Yao Han being the former world junior champion as well, I think this is a great partnership. I'm very excited to watch this, and Mak Hee-chun being a very good junior player together with Tan Bin Shen, I think it's going to be a very explosive match.
yes, definitely both quick pairs. But Tan Bun-hyung has been so solid. I did hear last week from Samuel Nason that he had an injury, a bit of a knock. So he's obviously fine now that he's playing. I wonder if that will affect him. Extremely fit player anyway. Very solid indeed. So let's see how this turns out. If Mak and Tan manage to get into their smash pattern, it could be. But you've got to make sure that I don't get too excited, Sharon, because if not, I told you I didn't lose my voice, I broke my voice. It's as simple as that. There's those match points and double match points and a lot of badminton over the last week. More to come. You can catch it all live and exclusive on Astro Supersport, channels 816 and 834. You get all the details you want on the league from the official website, www.purpleleague.com. And as I said, if Mak Hee-chun and Tan Bin Shen get into their smash pattern, then that is what would happen. That's exactly the way the first point played out. They are now 1 up.
What is very interesting in this court right now, we have 3 former world junior champions. Bun-hyung, Yao Han, Mak Hee-chun.
You were saying the other day about how Malaysia has always had lots of junior champions, but not that many actually managed to go through.
Yeah, I mean, the step up after 19 years old, I think that's the hardest one to go to the other line, which is the senior level.
Play a lot.
Yeah, but we are very proud that they're still playing well, just that they need to step up and do much better in the senior tournament. But let's see here, what's the problem, what's the issue here?
Both pairs being called. It looked like from the replay it was a service error. Stephen Ong and Ian Harris Abdullah are the umpire and service judge for this.
Oh, nice. I think they have to be careful with the super smash of Tan Bun-hyung.
Oh, yeah.
And he
wouldn't aim
had
for
a
him.
world record for the fastest smash in the world.
Exactly.
Well, definitely Bun-hyung will be the man to watch today.
Well, he's always so solid. I can tell you now that that was clocked at 421 kilometers an hour. That was,
Wow.
yeah.
That's really fast.
That was in 2009, and it beat Fu Haifeng's badminton smash. But Tan Bun-hyung, I think by the looks of it, it still holds now. Oh no, he broke his own record. 493 kilometers an hour. That's the fastest ever, and it's by him. It was matched apparently by Lee Chong-wei, and this is in the Guinness World Record books as well. So 493 kilometers an hour. That's faster than any car.
That's the energy from the hand, the wrist, and the leg actually.
Yep.
It all transferred towards the shuttle.
Of course, a bit older now, so it might not be as stinging as before, but even 350 will be fine. So far the points being distributed pretty evenly.
Yeah, looking at the movement of 4 players, they won't have any trouble at all because they are very, very experienced. I'm sure they have played together for a very long time, although they have their own permanent partner.
Yep. But with both of them having such an aggressive game, that's why everyone said, and James Wong himself said, this is going to be a cracker. And look at that.
Oh, not from Bun-hyung. He's just too sharp.
that looked like 160 kilometers an hour. Now that I know, I'm always going to try and estimate. Of course, we don't have that either up here. I wish I had a speed gun which we could point at the shuttle. But trust me, you can go check. World record holder, fastest ever badminton smash. It sounds better if you say close to 500 kilometers an hour. That's only 7 off.
Well, they are catching up, Mark and Tan. Definitely, they won't just stop there and give any easy points to Boon Hyung and Yao Han.
But what the pair in red will be trying to do, Boon Hyung and Yao Han will be trying to keep it as low and flat as possible, because there is a kill zone for Ma Qishun and Tan Bin Chen. Mid-court, half-court, about 10 foot up. They'll leave it there, and they'll get into their revolving smash pattern, which is how they usually like to win their points.
Oh, service fault.
Wow, is that a foot fault? I think it may have been a racket infringement instead. Rackets have to be pointed a certain way, a certain direction. So they've immediately gone for a wipe down.
Yeah.
6 all.
I should say that totally for these 4 players, definitely they know what they're doing. Trying not to leave too much, especially to Boon Hyung. Trying to play to the line.
So how these strategies played off. We just saw a wonderful strategy from Liang Xiaoyu, sorry, against Tai Tzu Ying, that saw the Super Series Masters final champion for the women's singles losing her first ever game in the Kopiko Pro League.
Oh, nice. What nice push. Well, although Boon Hyung is really fast, but looks like at the side right corner, there's a space over there, and well done, Peter.
Well, it's that kind of areas, those tiny areas around the baselines that they'll be aiming for if they are indeed going to use their smash tactics, and I haven't really seen them go for any other type of game. It's doing them well so far. That's 8-7, and they get the serve. Critical to get the serve around the 8th point. 3 to go. Now, that's error after error. Look at them. Yes, 5 unforced errors as opposed to 3 in this first game for Ao Tan.
Nice one. Nice net play from Yao Han. The back court is definitely Boon Hyung's favorite. Normally when he pet Ken Kiat as well, Ken Kiat will be at the front, and he will just smash it hard from the back.
That was him at the front. As you can see, it does help him with his height and size as well to be at the back. So, they're not going out without a fight.
Definitely, 2 pairs, whoever makes the most unforced error will lose, because the game are very tight. They both pairs can hit and run and place the shuttle really well.
Exactly. Now that might do it though. So Makatan do get the first game. And that could be oh so important here. 9-11.
Definitely, Boon Hyung and Yao Han couldn't take this match too lightly, because their opponent Mark and Tan, I think, will have the same motivation
Well,
today to
same
win
plan, really.
games. Yeah, for their club.
Now, in the bigger picture of things, Muar City, as we said, pretty much unassailable up at the top of the league, about 30 games free. So, unless, and let's just take it as granted that, as I said earlier, we had a very interesting stat earlier, which looked at all of the games differences that they've picked up over the ties from round 1 all the way up to round 8, and it has been up and down for them, but they have at times, and especially in the last 2 ties, taken away +10s, whereas Kepong have made it +6, +7, +8 as they've gone through the season. The important thing is both clubs that you're watching have won every single tie that they have had. So it's just games that has differentiated them. The important point is that for Kepong, they're now just 7 games off second place Puchong United. If they can take 7 games from this tie, they will be second in the league.
So we're looking at top clubs so far in Kopiko Purple League, and the standard of the games, it's really high. Wow, no chance. Half court.
These 2 clubs are the only clubs left now that have won every single tie. It used to be them plus Petaling Jaya, but Petaling Jaya, of course, were beaten by Muar City in round 8. So Kajang picked up a win as well in round 8, which meant that Serdang are now the only club still that haven't won a single tie over the 8 games. And as we go through them, just as we get these early points out the way, points, by the way, that are being won by Makintan. Muar City started +14 in round 1, +7, +9, +3, +15, +5, +10. That's how you sit at the top of the league. Kepong, on the other hand, had a +6, +2, +6, +9. So it's always been within that barrier. So somebody's got to lose this tie. Well, actually, you could have a draw. We've had 1 draw, and that was on match day 4, and it was between Klang United and Puchong. Didn't help their cause. 0-sum gain.
Errors are coming in, and definitely Mark Antan is feeling really motivated to carry on Muar City's domination in KPL.
As we've seen, anyone that has stepped up to Muar City recently has been taken out. They are a solid team, though, Makitan, has to be said. But I didn't expect Tan Boon Hyong and Ao Yahanan to be 5-1 down in the second.
Yeah, I mean, the defense of Mark Antan is just fantastic. Didn't give any opportunity for Boon Hyong to do whatever he likes to do, especially the smashes.
And look at that rotation from the 2 players in black.
Yep, it's all flat.
Yep. So pressure pays in the end, but I hope we get to see that great rotation graphic again, because during that point they were rotating very well.
Yeah, definitely Mark and Tan, they move around really well and cover each other, especially at the front net. I think both of them played really well and less unforced error. So somehow it makes Boon Hyong and Yao Han feel very impatient.
Believe it or not, in the second game, they've only made 3 unforced errors. And that's off 28 points, which is actually, thinking, the best return so far. There'll be more still to come, but so far, that's a very, very solid return for their opponents. Up to 11 now. That's what I would have expected from now.
Wow, 8-1.
Exactly. 8-1, 1 game down. Tan Boon Hyong hasn't lost a match either. And he might just be They got that point, but he might just be facing a bit too much here.
Obviously, Boon Hyung and Yao Han always in the defense mode, and the opponents are just taking all the chances really, really well and put it sharp and very low.
I think they're trusting that their defense would be fast enough, but I wouldn't. If I was facing Mak and Tan, definitely, who rely on that aggressive smash game, and maybe try and take the smashes to them immediately, as opposed to sit back, because they not only rotate defensively, but as I said, they just rotate smashes as well, as soon as they get into their pattern.
But having said that, that's a great
that is a
placement,
great, yes.
Yeah, from Yao Han.
There's a good little nick into the corner. But at 3-9 down, you've got to ask yourself.
Oh, not at this moment.
Not good, and that means that there's 7 game points here. Now, seeing as how they've made 3 unforced errors, that's what I'm talking about. The probability is that one of these 7 points will be converted, and they will get their second game. It wasn't that one, but it's highly unlikely. Well, that's, of course, their 4th unforced error. But with 6 game points, it's highly unlikely they're going to make a mistake. Or enough of them.
That goes in.
There you go. Sometimes stats just never lie.
Yeah, overall, I think this second game, Mak and Tan just started really, really well and too fast. They were leading 8-1, and Yao Han and Boon Hyung just couldn't find the rhythm to make a good comeback.
Well, they're still on 4 unforced errors, and that's off 35 points, which is incredible. That's amazing. Very solid game indeed in just 15 minutes. Sorry, 15 minutes so far. You were talking about my voice earlier, Sharon. It has taken such a battering over the last week, but I'm happy to say that it's taken this battering because of the badminton that we've seen on court. As I said, I didn't lose my voice. My voice was broken by the performances of Chen and Xiao against Marcus Kido and Agrippina for 1. It was Janu Jorgensen's 2 games lost against Tanonse. I can tell you exactly the bits that broke it. But there is a break, of course, coming up after this. This is the final tie for match day 9. So if you can deal with the new Husky Jeeve just for another couple of games, we'll all be back and fresh on Wednesday. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, service fault. Well, you never know. It's all depends on the service judge. Sometimes you have been training, doing the same thing all over, but it happens sometimes.
That's true. And the serve's getting very nervy now because both these pairs very fast as well. That's been called out.
Everything goes well for Mak and Tan, definitely. Look at that, unforced error again, a bit too rushing.
And a bit too many. We've seen the frequency of unforced errors. Tai Tzu Ying earlier was also very upset with the amount she was wearing. That is the confirmation of it. 6 as we get into the 3rd game. That is a singles record that Mak and Tan, I mean, we've seen good performances from them before. This really is very solid and up against not unknowns, shall we say, at all.
Consistently, Mak and Tan are really smart to put all the shuttle really sharp flat.
Yeah.
And I think it works because whenever Johan and Boon Hyung lift it up, and that's when they smash, especially from
Yeah.
Bin Shen, who are always ready.
They've kept it flat. As you can see, they were just rotating. I mean, if that point had gone on any longer, you would have seen them go left and right. But their positioning, both in attack and defense, and don't forget, being smashers, they have what we like to call transitional defensive shots, where you suddenly put an attacking angle on your defensive shot, regain control of the point. And of course, with them, if they regain control of the point, well, you better get ready to return.
But I think the ankle injury, the swollen ankle that Boon Hyung
That was the injury, yeah.
Right now, somehow has affected his movement a little bit.
And they're making him play very low shots at the net as well. There's that rotation again.
Oh,
There it is again.
that's a brave one. End up a good point for them.
All in all, what I'm seeing from McIntyre is really quite solid and very nice to watch. If you are a doubles partnership or you think you're getting into one, this is an amazing performance. 7 unforced errors now into the third game.
Yep, too strong. I think that's the best strategy that they put in from the very first point. They were saying just attack and attack. Because somehow the movement of Boon Hyung wasn't that perfect today. So they're attacking Johan.
Yes, exactly. But it is that confidence of winning as well. Now you see they're flat-ish there, but there's that rotation again. There it is again. Now fully rotated. Amazing, amazingly well done. Now, believe it or not, Samuel Nason would have been hoping that Tan Boon Hyung and Ao Han could at least bring back, well, he wanted to win.
Yeah, we look at this, obviously 4, 5, 6 defense, but Mark and Tan just couldn't stop all the smashes, and at last it worked.
Yeah.
It has been working
That's
so
it's been
far.
working for the last 2.5 months. We used to see revolving smashes about 3 or 4, but I've seen them go to 6, 7. They just keep going. They love doing. And don't forget, everyone watching at home, each of these smashes takes a massive toll on your body when you land and you get up. You smash and you land and you get up. So if you don't get points from them, you end up with a lot more of a physical toll on your body. I think a good example is Lee Hyun-il. We saw him come out earlier. His smashes never have a lot of power on them. They're precise, and he never breaks a sweat.
Yeah.
He's always running around and he's fine.
Some players, although they don't smash hard, but they cut, they slice the smash, and
Yeah,
somehow,
that's right.
you know, it's very effective.
Hyun-il was pretty much perfect today. He did lose a game, but he lost it off his own smash at game point. And that was only 3 centimeters down, so it's going to go down as Sun Wat winning that game, but really, he was all over Sun Wat. I think I know that song. Wow, Boon Hyung's ankle, perhaps you're right. Possibly giving him a bit of trouble, but not only is he on the brink of losing his first match in the Kopiko Purple League, it's the first clean sweep, not winning a game, if McIntyre can win the next 3 points. There was a lot of space between him and Yao Han
Definitely.
there.
Boon Hyung was taking charge in front and waiting for Yao Han to follow up. But again, I think, well, it's just not their day today.
It's not just working out for them. But in the same way, look at that, 8 unforced errors, and they're just about to win the match. That is a singles return. I think that's going to be for me, and I'm always looking for the statistics. One of the best performances we've seen today. Clean dismissal.
Oh, nice one from Boon Hyung. Very experienced player. He just knew where to put the shuttle away, and he just did that.
Now, of course, Boon Hyung wouldn't have cleared himself to play at that ankle bin any worse. You can tell which ankle it is. It's a little bit more taped up on one side, but his movement has been a little bit restricted. But now, Makintan 2 points away from what will be considered a very good win. Not just because of their solidity or their defensive rotation or the fact they've come up with all sorts of clear winners, but because they made sure that their opponents haven't had a chance to get into their rhythm.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see what Yao Han and Boon Hyung going to do next. Yep, I think they just have to be patient. They don't have any choice right now. Rather than attacking and taking too risky shot, they have to be calm and just get ready any opportunity and just take it from there.
I think that is probably the best bet. You can bet that Makintan are going to want to finish this off, and that has given them 2 match points. They're still on sub-10 on the unforced errors, so that is
looking
really
at
impressive
that
stuff.
push, I think it's a bit too low, rated too long. It sometimes physical really affect the way someone plays.
very nicely played by both of them. There's that rotation. And again, one front, one back. They're in control. As I said, they will just keep smashing. And it's out, so they get the match. And it's a straight 3-love win with just 9 unforced errors of 54 points. That is amazing. That's an incredible return. 18 for Awentan, 9 unforced errors of 54 points. Wow.
Definitely is a very big win for Tan and Mark, because having to play with Boon Hyung and Yao Han, I think it's not an easy opponent. But totally from the very first point, they already set their mind to attack all the time, because looking at Boon Hyung's movement are not too efficient today, and the defense of Yao Han is a bit too loose. So they made it 3-love.
There were a lot of spaces on that court, that's for certain. And you can see what it means to them. That winning confidence you were talking about within the team. High fives everywhere. As we confirm that, a straight 3-love win. 24 minutes, and now Muar City again moving ahead. Now, as I said earlier, the small... Oh, well, we'll just get to that table breakdown in a second. Let's hear from Makintan. They're on court with JD.
All right, down here with the winners of the men's doubles match. Very surprising result, or did Muar City expect this? So, when you were walking out on court, did you expect to win this match in straight games?
No, I thought it's a very tough match, but I think we just play our best. So I think we managed to make a good one for our team. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, now, what about the fans? Did they help you at all? What do you want to tell the fans right now? I'm going to give you this opportunity to talk to the fans.
I love you, Muar City BC!
Great job! Winners of Muar City BC, back to you.
So not much about the game then, but definitely what we want to see, connections with the fans. So many players have been doing it, but Sharon, talk us through this.
The rotation of Mark and Tan today is just fantastic. I think they cover each other really well, putting the shuttle really low and flat.
Yeah, there is
but
that,
I should say, Yao Han and Boon Hyung tried their level best. It's just that today they are a bit too rusty. I shouldn't say too rusty, but they open up the court too much for Mark and Tan.
You've got to be tighter than that, sure. And with that, I mean, the unforced error count of sub-10 is a result of that rotation. There it is again, you just saw it moving from left to right and front to back. And this is a good example of it. You'll see them flat here.
I should
and then
say
as one of them goes forward, one comes around.
And we could see that Mark and Tan, they are covering each other. Look at this. One at the front, one at the back, and anything up there, and then just take it well.
Yeah, so it's either a half rotation at the back or it's a full rotation, but they're always about 3 or 4 foot away from each other. Now that is not as easy as it looks to do at all.
Yep.
9 unforced errors confirmed, 18 on the other side, 31, they won it at the net, they won it from the smashes as well. Service errors, as we said with Muar City, there's this odd point in every one of their games where they look at each other and they,
yeah.
you know, what happened there? So,
like I said, to play with good players and very experienced players, unforced errors, I think they should cut down. But again, looking at this singles player, I think it's another great match.
it is a great match, but shouldn't Tan Chunxiang come through this easily? He was impressive the last time he came out.
On paper, he should though. But again, in this format, lower ranked players could produce miracle results.
That's true. Now, Ai Wei-jian, what we heard, of course, from Samuel Nason, his mother owns the club, owns Kepong Badminton Club. So it's not just doing it for the team, it's doing it for mum as well. I want to leave you with that while we talk to the managers, Samuel Nason and James Wong on court with JD.
All right, down here with the managers once again before the start of this very, very crucial tie. First, let's chat with Samuel Nason from Kepong, BC. How will Wei-jian handle this crucial match? Will his last match haunt him slightly?
No, I think the matches that Wei-jian lost, he played against much better opponents. But in view of the score that has just happened, I think the pressure is off his back. He's going to just take it easy and just play. So who knows what may happen when he does that.
Thank you very much, Samuel Nason. Now over to Jason Wong from Muar City, BC. You're leading in a tie, 9-5. Any predictions of how this one is going to go?
Nothing goes to relax now. So we try our best to make it to the last match. I mean, as much point or as much game as possible. Yeah, hopefully Chunxiang will take this opportunity to give us a better lead. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Back to you in the iBook Court commentary box. Let's enjoy this match.
So Tan Chunxiang, 28 years old now, and as said, played a brilliant match last time he was out. Can Ai Wei-jian cause him any problems?
I think so, because Wei-jian has played a lot of matches with top-ranked players. And for Chunxiang, upset Nguyen Tianmin, I think that was the best one.
That's right, that was the one.
And Tianmin was very surprised with
I think we'll just say
performance.
Upset, actually.
Big upset.
He was not, well, the match was an upset, but Tianmin was definitely not a happy camper at all at the end of that match. And it wasn't down to line calls or disputed line calls. I mean, it was actually a cross-court smash right to left that Tan Chunxiang kept delivering so well and so perfectly that it took Tianmin's game out. Now, if he's really on fire, Chunxiang, then Wei-jian does move around very well.
Yep, he's a fit player. And having played top players like Jan O. Jorgensen and other players, I think he has learned a few tips here and there.
That's the thing. There are all sorts of current and retired even singles legends, players made up to the top, people can learn from. We have already seen a first loss for Chow Mei Kwan in the Kopiko Pro League. She wasn't playing with her usual partner of Chang Pen-sun in the mixed doubles and was guilty actually of taking too many of the shots. We'll get to the highlights of the tie and the match. This match, or this tie, sorry, to close out match day 9 at the end of not just this match, but the next one.
And I should say that Chunxiang now, he's a senior player, but being a long time ago with BM and now on his own, it's great to see former players who are not in BM but coming back and play in this league. I think it's a very big platform for everybody.
Well, it was a 3-1 win over Tianmin. That was just just a few days ago. 5-11, 11-9, 11-8, 11-9. So it took 34 minutes. And Tian Min was really ruffled in that one. Now he's taken a 3-1 lead here.
Well, a slow start from Chun Xiang, although he was leading quite a bit.
Well, he has been accused in the past of drifting in and out of matches. He didn't against Tian Min. And I think he knows that, as I was just about to say before the manager's interview, and I'll just get that done now, the smallest margin that Muar City has won by has been 3 games. They're currently 4 games up. So I think after 3 it was 5. But then after that it's +10, +15, +10, +9, +8. So they probably won't walk away with a +10 or a +9 here. And it's certainly looking that Kepong are not going to get the 7 games they need extra to catch Puchong United in second. But you never know.
Yeah.
You really never know. I said if Ai Weijian does manage to pull off an upset here, 3-0, then that would make it 9-8. And then if the doubles come in after this as well, and they pull off a 3-0, then that would be 11-9, and they would at least take 2 games back, because remember, Puchong United took 0 games, having taken +1 on match day 8 and -1 on match day 9.
Nice smash from Chun Xiang. I think I always like to watch left-handed players. They are somehow...
That's right.
I don't know whether they are extra talented or not. Maybe the left-handed players would say, yes, we are.
Yeah.
But somehow they are so smooth, so graceful on court.
It's a different dynamic. It's the same as golf. The left-handed golfers, if you think about a golf club and how you play it, when you watch a left-handed golfer play, it's a different body movement entirely. But Phil Mickelson, well, number 2, is lefty. They call him Lefty. That's his nickname because it's the strangest shot. But in badminton, of course, being left or right-handed means so much more.
Oh, just out.
Especially in doubles. If you have a left and right-hand combination, then you open up all sorts of opportunities on the court. Singles, not so much, as you're both going to be aiming for the same types of areas anyway.
Yeah, Chun Xiang, a very talented player. He has a lot of options on court normally. Lots of, what you call it,
Weapons.
trick shots.
Yep.
Yeah. But I really admire Weijian, because seeing him played from the earlier round of Kopiko Purple League, I think he's a very hard worker on court.
Yes, he does. He runs around and he moves around very quickly. I've often thought, if you look at him as physically, and you compare him to, say, Go Gyap Chin, who is just Ai Weijian with the build, it means that Weijian can get around a lot, but when it comes to that killing point, that killing blow,
Yeah.
Gyap Chin can lift up and hook smash in. Weijian probably finds a bit different. Now, Chun Xiang, as you can see, physically bigger, but also plays a different type of game as well.
But we should say that for singles play, being too bulky is not good as well.
Yes, that's right.
Because singles player need to cover the court a bit more.
That's right. That's true.
What happened?
Well, that was
Look at that.
a short serve.
Yeah, I think Weijian got shocked himself.
Definitely. And now he's going to be serving. He's been returning serve when he could have been serving for the game. Great shot from Chun Xiang. He only needs 2 more points. And he's going to get one here from the unforced error. And that's the other thing about Ai Weijian. That movement is not clinical enough and accurate enough at times. But as I said, would be seen as the junior player here. So Chun Xiang would be expected to win. And he has done that. 3-11.
Yep, so far strategically Chun Xiang is in control, putting the shuttle in most corner of the court. Weijian, I think he needs to vary the shot making, because I think so far to be fair, he doesn't have any chance to do any attacking shot because Chun Xiang are taking the shuttle really early.
Well, that's the confirmation of the tie as it stands now. 10-5 to Muar City. 6 minutes that took for an 11-3. So they're now looking like, as I said, they're probably going to take, should they win this, they have a very strong, as you'd expect, doubles pair coming up. Chao Pak Chu and Tan Wee Kiong back in the mix. So that might be a little bit too much for Lo Juan Sheng and Chua Kek Wei. If it's 5 now and he wins another 2, then there'll be 7 up. No, they could still take 10 games away. Amazingly, Muar City have this ability to just, when it comes to the 6th match of the tie, have the opportunity to walk away with 10 games. Puchong United, on the other hand, they were following them in 2nd place for a long time, but they had that draw on match day 4, and then they had 2 very, very close matches where they only took 1 game away. That's what's let Muar City pull ahead, but as I said, just 7 games separating 2nd, 3rd and 4th teams. Puchong, Petaling Jaya and Kepong. Just 14 games separating 4th to 7th. And yes, as we've said so many times, the top 8 qualify for the Champions Challenge. And there's still lots to look at. Obviously, Bangsa Hawks mathematically out, theoretically out, physically out. Not going to do it. But they'll be looking to pick up their 2nd ever win. They've only won 1 tie, over the season. Serdang, the only club that hasn't won a single tie still. They got 2 attempts to do it. Match days 10 and 11. That will be kicking off on Wednesday. I should say flicking off on Wednesday. Live and exclusive on Astro Supersports. Channels 816 and 834, and get all the details on the official Purple League website, www.purpleleague.com. So Sharon, two love up, Tan Chi Song.
Yeah, a great
good.
start from Chun Xiang actually. I think he would want to stick to his strategy from what he did in the first game. Just be aggressive. And I think Wei Jian need to be a bit more on the toes and get ready most of the time, because there's no way he could get more points if he couldn't push. Actually, at the front of the court, it's very important to be brave and take it earlier.
Well, bravery is a great thing, and yes, I know exactly what you're saying. If he took a high court line and essentially made his stance or made his stand at mid-court, then he cuts down the response time and the reaction time for Chun Xiang. The only problem there is, of course, as was shown with Tian Min, Chun Xiang can start pinging smashes left and right either side of him.
Strong.
So, an interesting problem for Wei Jian. Do you stay at the back? Do you stay at the front? Or do you do that?
Yeah, I think it's a good one. I think he needs to vary the shots, hard shots, soft shots, so that Chun Xiang couldn't predict what's next. I think that's one of the way to get more points from here.
Well, a mistake from Chun Xiang, and that immediately gets me to my unforced error radar. 5 for Chun Xiang so far, 6 for Wei Jian. We are now into the 2nd game, so that's 20 points played. Not bad. Deep serve, in, yes. Nice little tricky serve.
Yeah, that's a great one. Even the serve varies the serve. Wei Jian is doing whatever he can to pick up.
Any point will do.
Yeah, nice recovery. The players sweat so much on court.
They
and
do.
Definitely, you know, it needs.
The environment has,
yeah,
for them over the last 2.5 months, meant that they know every detail of the court. We know where the drafts are, of course. They know where the drafts are. They've compensated for that. But yes, sometimes the arena can get a little bit warmer, a little bit cooler. If we can feel it up here, then imagine what they're feeling it down there.
Nice net play.
That's more like it for
Yep.
Wei Jian.
Well, very brave Wei Jian, and I think the confidence is picking up right now. Look at that, taking it much earlier.
I'm sure that's what his coach, which right now is Chong Wei Feng. Latest news, of course, Chong Wei Feng back from the India Open, but pulled a hamstring, which means that Kepong are currently playing with Ti Jingyi sitting on the bench and Chong Wei Feng sitting in the coaches area. Two national players, top national players, out, can't play.
It's really hard for a club sometimes because you never know what would happen to the players. You might have the best player, but if they get injured,
that's right.
Definitely you have a weaker team. But still, Kepong is doing well right now.
They are doing, considering that Petaling Jaya, who are looking to catch up Muar City, they took on Muar recently and were pretty much taken apart, as everyone else has in this league. They are champions-elect. They're not quite champions yet, but it is now mathematical. It's going to need big wins from everyone else, and it's going to need at least one big loss for Muar City. And as I said, as I went through their tally, they haven't lost yet. And they've only said their weakest performance has been a +3 gain, which, to put that in context, oh, look at that, yeah.
Wow, he missed that. Chun Xiang definitely defended really well, although he was in trouble in one point. Look at this. Yep.
Six all. And Wei Jian is going to look for a good chance here. That's a great drop shot.
Cross court. Yep, changes of momentum and also direction.
This should be killed. No, it's a drop.
Oh, yep.
That was the kind of play we saw against Chen Min.
Yes, putting his opponent left and right. And this is when, this is the one where it opens up opportunity for Chun Xiang, and he goes forward, took it. And I should say that normally singles player, to go to the front and take the shuttle earlier, it actually needs a lot of energy, the power of the thigh and also the leg.
Yeah, that's right, you need to spring into life. And as we discussed a couple of days back, it's not just getting there. Of course, your angle of attack has to change because of the trajectory of the shuttle. If you're going to pick it up and it's coming back to you, there's a higher chance you can net from there by moving forward. So it might look very easy. And I said, we were talking earlier, Lee Hyun-il makes badminton look easy. He literally walks on and makes it look. When they even got to the virtual replays, he was literally grouping points around triangles.
Looks like he walks on point.
So he, of course, is 34 years old. Some of these younger players, they have just started to add these triangles to their game.
Yep, it's in.
But that was what you were saying. What Chun Xiang was doing there was what Wei Jian should be doing. He too held his line at the service line and pretty much played from that.
Yeah, I think variation of shots really give advantage to Chun Xiang. I think he knows where to put the ball, whether it's hard shot or soft shot. And
so it's
this is
8-6.
when...
Oh. Well, that was a little bit of a comedy exchange at the nets.
Yeah, he slipped a little bit, but that was a good netting. Good net shot.
Considering.
So he got away from there. If Chun Xiang had the chance to just push it at the back, I think Wei Jian would be in trouble.
Probably from that angle would have gone cross-court the other side, but he still would have been in trouble with the weight that he was going. just managing to stay ahead. 9-7, though, is where you'd like to be if you have a 2-point lead. You could be 4-2 up, that would mean much. You'd be 5-3 up, 9-7.
Oh, out again, a bit too hard. I think Wei Jian was thinking to just put Chun Xiang at the baseline.
Well, he's done better this time. I mean, there were 7 game points against him in the last game, just 3 here. That's, I think, one of the first shots we've seen. Chun Xiang's unforced error rate 7 now, so roughly 3.5 per game, still good. But he's a solid player like that, isn't he? I mean, he's in terms of all areas of his game.
He's, I mean, Chun Xiang is a very all-rounder player. Just that consistency is just the question mark.
Yeah, as I said, he does drift in and out sometimes, but his last 2 matches,
nice
this one and the Tianmin match, he seems to be a bit more focused as to what he needs to do for his club. Earlier on in the season, there was that famous incident where he was on court for about 5 minutes clutching his ankle. And, well, we hoped it wasn't an injury, and it turned out it wasn't. He had just been a little bit tired. We'll never know for sure, of course. Great shot, great shot.
Nice cross cut.
And it's that shot that gives him the second game.
Yeah, looking at this game, definitely Wei Jian had worked really hard and put so much effort in changing the momentum of the game, and that gave a bit more pressure to Chun Xiang. And I should say Wei Jian is a hard worker. If he was given the chance, any high shots, I think that's when he can put in anything. For example, soft shot or even smashes. It's just that when Chun Xiang moves him around, that's when he has a bit of problem to put the shots at the right time, at the right place.
Well, the stats definitely follow exactly what you're saying. I mean, the first game was just 6 minutes long. The second game, 11 minutes long. So definitely longer, drawn-out rallies, and that's what Wei Jian wants to do to find his opportunity. There is Chong Wei Feng. Now, hamstrings, well, as an athlete, 3 weeks, 2-3 weeks?
Yeah,
hamstring
2-3 weeks.
at least?
Yeah, it depends how severe it is.
I mean, I know in football, hamstrings about 2 or 3 weeks, and that's running, but in these kind of lateral bounding sports...
At least 2 weeks for top players, because you want to make sure it's okay and ready to work hard.
If you don't, of course, then you risk serious injury with it.
Yeah, and it will take much longer, because that's a big muscle at the back, just behind the thigh.
Oh, gives me the shivers when I hear about these things. Some of the injuries that you see in sport are amazing, because of course you don't feel what they go through, but cruciate ligament injuries in the knees, for example, that's what Hui Lin had when she was younger as a singles player. She said she had an ACL, and as soon as I heard that ACL, I was like, wow, hold on, that's gotta hurt. But it has been a blow to Kepong, and you're right, for them to beat 11-5 here, that's in.
What a nice cross-court push. I think that's definitely one of the best from Wei Jian. Look at that empty area. Calmly, he just put it there.
That is the good plan for him.
And they do that a lot during training. Just put it there for 1,000 times or more.
1,000 times. I'm sorry, I have to stop and say 1,000 times on a specific shot. Yeah,
maybe
probably.
For an hour
well, the times I've been to Stadium Juara, where most of the BAM national shuttlers train, I've seen huge hills of shuttles on one part of the court, and I've often wondered, I thought, how many are actually there? And yeah, there's the coach will have like 7 on his arm, and he'll be like sending them off and just putting them into one place.
And they put it in a box.
That's right, yeah. One specific area. That's the kind of training that Tan Chun Sang is going to know all about. Ai Wei-jian, has he had much national exposure in terms of...
He's not training with BAM, but then he's training with his club, where they have a lot of sparring partners, and he still goes around for tournaments.
Right, yeah.
Yep. So I think that's good to keep him on his toes.
Well, he's 4-2 back here, and this is the, as I said earlier, 2-point lead here is one thing. A 2-point lead at 9-7 or 10-8, that's an entirely different thing. So still much to play for in this third game, which he has to win, remember. But look at that transition from power to finesse.
That is fast.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant play.
So definitely the strategy of